There's an 800-pound gorilla in the housing industry. That gorilla has a name, and it's the lawsuits against NAR, or the National Association of Realtors. There's a lot of potential impacts, whether it be on buyers, sellers, the real estate agent market, or mortgage lenders as a whole. But before we can really discuss what those impacts might be, we have to take a trip through a history lesson of how the housing market has worked for the last 111 years. Yes, 111 years we've been doing it basically one same way. And typically, the way we've done it is that the sellers agree to pay a real estate commission when their home sells. Some portion of that real estate commission stays with the agent that they've chosen to list their home for sale, and some portion of that commission goes to the real estate agent that brings the buyer that you agree to sell the home to. So in a normal listing agent agreement, you're going to interview perhaps multiple agents, 2, 3, 4. It might be somebody you've already worked with, so you're comfortable and know this is the person for you. Once you've negotiated the real estate commissions, the home price, you're going to sign what's called a listing agreement. This listing agreement's a contract between you and that real estate agent that says we're going to agree to pay this much in real estate commissions. We're going to agree to put the house on the market at this price when we start selling it. And then that agreement is also going to determine the length of time that your agent is your exclusive agent, meaning they're the only one that can act as your listing agent for whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 9, or 12. So now once you've got the home ready to go to market, listing agent has gotten the photo secured, it goes live on the MLS, the multiple listing service. What that allows for is for multiple buyers to see that your home is now available for sale. Interior photos, backyards, master bathrooms, etc. And while we're doing this, the buyer's agents are setting up showing appointments with the listing agent to come view the home with their prospective buyers. Now, these agents may have to drive to multiple homes with their clients when they find the house that's just perfect for them. Once the buyer determines that your house is the house that they want to buy, they make an offer on your home. Now, there's maybe some negotiating back and forth, and if you're lucky enough, there's multiple offers, and now you have the best opportunity to pick the best price, the best terms, the best closing date, whatever the things are that are most important to you. So once the buyer and seller agree, there's a contract signed. The buyer is working with their exclusive agent, and as we go through the home inspection process, mortgage, appraisal, if it's a finance transaction, we work our way to the closing table. And once we get to the closing table, you as the seller are signing documents, the buyer's signing documents, and that's the legal transfer of the home ownership. Now, once the sale is concluded, the buyer's agent, historically, typically, gets a portion of the commissions that a seller agrees to pay. The listing agent gets the other part. Sometimes it's a 30-70 split. Sometimes it's 50-50. That's typically the norm. Sometimes it might be 60-40. However, the seller is the one paying the real estate. Now, when I talk about historical norms, it's been a pay-it-forward model. Let's take a different example outside of the housing industry to better explain this. If you're in the drive-through line at, let's say, Starbucks, and the person in front of you, being kind, decides that they're going to pay for your order as the car behind them. They've now paid it forward to you. Now, if you choose, you don't have to, but if you choose, you can pay for the car behind you. Now, we've seen plenty of stories that go viral where 110 people paid for the car behind you, and somewhere along the way, that line gets broken. That's been the housing market for the last 111 years. The sellers pay commissions that are then used to pay both their agent and the agent that represented the buyer bringing it in. This lawsuit, multiple lawsuits, are upsetting that apple cart because it's now attempting to break that type of relationship. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's good or bad. That's not really my place. But I think you need to determine that, but we have to delve in, take a deeper understanding of the impacts on a seller, impacts on a buyer, real estate agents, and what that might mean for the entire housing industry. So as we start to move through, I want to break this down into little parts where it's, here's the impacts it might have on the buyer. Here's the impacts it could have on a seller, so on and so forth. And then you might be able to make a more educated decision on what is the best agent to pick, whether it to be to sell your home, buy your home. But there's also going to be an impact on what lender you do or do not use. So we'll finish up with part one saying, pay it forward is a random act of kindness to the rest of society around us. And then we'll start to break down each of these individual components.